software is no longer eating the world. Data is eating the world. Roughly speaking, every single person in this room will probably generate about 2 megabytes of data today just by doing what you do in your phone and your devices. Doesn't seem like a lot. Times it by 8 billion people on the planet, and you start to get a fairly significant amount of data being generated every single day. Every single Snapchat that's sent, and I've got 2 kids, so lots of Snapchat gets sent. It's 1 meg of data that just appears out of nowhere. We send, on average, about 332 billion emails every day as a society. Stupid numbers. If you think about the data numbers that we keep hearing every single year, there's a new number that defines the amount of zettabytes of data that's going to be generated. 2019, it was 4 zettabytes. 2020, it was 44 zettabytes. 2025, it's 300 zettabytes or something of data is the expectation. Now, these are just stupid numbers we can't even comprehend. All it leads us to recognize is that we're just overloading our lives with data. And you people are all the people that have to manage that and own that and build some structure around it so that your organizations can actually use that data. And you're going to have to do that against this backdrop of a world that is becoming increasingly fast-paced, complicated, with its eyes on you, because all the world, every single organization I ever speak to and I ever talk to says we need to do more, we need to do it faster, we need to leverage data to do that, and we need to do it quickly, we need to do it collaboratively, we need everybody to have access to it. I was listening to Heidi's conversation earlier about the fact that we need to think about experts and non-experts. Everybody needs to be handling data. There's so much pressure on you as CTOs and data custodians to be the people that allow that to happen, but also govern it, control it, secure it, think about the risks that Richard alluded to. It is incredibly difficult to do all of that at the pace that's happening. And of course, I have to get to generative AI eventually. We're doing this against this backdrop of, let's just put AI on everything and then it'll be good and it'll be excellent and we'll all use it and it'll be wonderful. You probably know the number, the sort of the story of ChatGPT's growth, 100 million users in 2 months, 1 million users in 5 days. And the numbers, again, stupidly large. And if you project that forward, so ChatGPT was released pretty much 6 months ago, thereabouts. So at that rate, ChatGPT's growth rate was about 3.8% per day is the growth rate of usage. So that means there's probably around 300 million people using ChatGPT at the moment. It is a stupidly large number of people that are using that tool. But I'm going to say something a bit controversial. Large language models are not very interesting. In fact, they're actually quite boring. If they were interesting, you'd all have been playing with them in 2019 when they actually first appeared, when we started using them in some scaled way with GPT-2. But nobody cared. Why did nobody care? Because it had no application. It had no use case. The reason why ChatGPT is so popular is not because it's a large language model, it's just an incredibly intuitive user interface. It is the Google interface of AI chatbots. The other thing I'll say, which is, as boring as large language models are, they're actually also not that incredible from an AI point of view. And hear me out, I love them. I spend a lot of time playing with them and using them myself. But I think we're getting ourselves lost in this idea that they're this artificially intelligent system that is either great at making up recipes, great at delivering Shakespearean-style haikus about the Fast and the Furious, great at doing whatever I want them to do. And that's kind of fun, but actually the real differentiating point, the reason why large language models and ChatGPT as a sort of an application interface of that, the reason why they're so incredible is they have completely changed the way we talk to computers. Up until now, the only way you could get a computer to do anything for you is to program it. And if you had to program it, you needed to know how to program. And if you didn't know how to program, you needed to know a programmer. And then you needed to explain to them what you wanted it to do. And then hopefully they kind of got it right, and hopefully you got the right outcome. And so much was lost in that interfacing journey between idea, translation, programming, delivery, outcome. We now just simply ask a computer what to do. Not only do that, we can actually give it complex instructions. You prompt I'm assuming you all use ChatGPT today, you write prompts in it, you ask it a question. I bet most of you simply ask it a question, but you probably don't realize that you can actually ask it a question, give it the answer you want, explain to it how you want that information provided, tell it what to do when it doesn't know how to give the answer, so stop hallucinating, and then respond to you. It's a much more complex interface. It's the natural language approach to AI is what makes it unique. Of course, the problem we have right now is that's great input. What we get out of them is still basically, for all the stuff that Richard talked about, in vector databases, weightings, parameters, it's still a guessing game of I'll just figure out the next word. Like I'll just work out what I think the most important next word is. So there's still a lot of work to be done in figuring that bit out.